thumbnail or what? Is this a thumbnail or what? Look at this thing. What the hell is this? That's crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. It was crazy. Look at the screen. No, episode. It's in one of this guys somewhere. So. Again, no, this is normal. Squire? Was it Squire? I didn't see. Berserk gets down. Oh my god. So with those died, we could arrest. And go. When these are low, we'll do like we'll do berserk. And not yet. Not yet. Berserk yet? No, this is berserk. No berserk. The apparitions actually. We'll try to look this guy down. This guy is so weak. Alright, not bad. I can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, let's start looting, I guess. Oh, never mind. Yes. What the hell? Okay. The timing though, the timing. Okay, welcome to my guide. This is the splitting steel, true damage, precise technique, life stacking, strength stacking, bloodthirst, fizz stacking, non-crits, impaler. Yep, I think that's the TLDR of the build. So as you can see in the the preview, the showcase videos, the damage is actually insane. You know, I'm one phasing uber bosses with protection, right? They have their immediate protection, and so obviously in I think in searing I quite cheated because I used the weapon swap out in. Now I don't like using this myself, but in bossing I think it's fair that you can use a weapon swap because you know it's just one button before the boss phases in, right? So that's fine. Now in normal mapping I do not use that, so I don't use it. In fact I use Void Sphere and Frost Bomb. I use these to help with T17 because this build is specifically made to kill Meatsacks. As you saw in the very first video, I grouped the entire map of Meatsacks together, and I blew them all up together, and loot comes the entire screen. You know, it's like 20 divines in loot on the floor, and you get T0s back to back. You know, it's great, it's awesome. Now, let's get straight into the mechanics. So, Juggernaut is the main mechanic here. We are looking at Undeniable. Now, Undeniable is often used in strength stackers and accuracy stackers, okay? But honestly, you can kind of double dip your way around this because let's say I'm spending all my investment into strength, okay? Now, the typical strength stacker will use Replica's Alberum's Warpath on the boot slot, and they would use the elevated helmets to get crit chance. Okay, so now they're a crit based build that does critical chaos damage, and if you do wear Osin, you can make enemy res 0, but I looked around and most people don't wear that because yeah, it's all from the boots, all chaos from the boots. There's no real source of conversion, so that's one thing. Now, the next thing is, there are some people who use accuracy stack, and they use the boots again with lightning damage. So there's 1 to 25 lightning damage per 200 accuracy or some shit like that. So they'll stack strength and get accuracy. Now, the best part about this part is that we are not going crits, chaos, or dex or lightning damage, right? We are going pure physical. Now, why is pure physical so good? The reason why it's so good is because we can get overwhelmed. In maps, especially in meatsack maps, right? You can get situations where monsters have resistance to physical, resistance to criticals, and resistance to elemental, okay? And those modifiers on a meatsack make them basically unkillable. It'll take you like 10 times, 20 times longer per meatsack. Now, if we take a look, hopefully you can see it's on here. Move it up here a little bit, like that. Okay, so we go to PoE, we go to PoE Wiki, or actually it's PoEDB Arc Nemesis, right? Now, what we really want to care about is these few mods. If we look at critical resistance, right? You see it says take no extra damage from critical strikes, and there's no way you can deal with this other than doing non-crits. So because this modifier is so common in meatsacks, because you're doing 8 mod, 10 mod, 12 mod meatsacks, there's 12 to 15 modifiers of rares on each meatsack. This will come up a lot, okay? So this will, if you have say 700 crit modi, you do 8 times less damage. It's horrendous, right? Now, next one you want to be worried about is physical resistance. Now, this is the special part. It says 50% additional phase reduction. Now, it's very special because phase reduction can be overwhelmed. Meaning, if I stack overwhelm, I can give myself a lot of, let's say, quite true damage to penetrate all resistance, because enemy fizz reduction can't go below 0. We just want to go 2-0 and that's it. Okay, 2-0 and that's it. So to us, our damage doesn't change when they have fizz reduction or not. And why is this different to, say, cold resistance, right? Resistance. Now, why is it different? It's different because this is 75% cold res. If, let's say, actually, let's go to lightning, because commonly it's lightning. Lightning resistance, okay. So, normally, you already have penetration, you already have elemental reduction, right? You already have the reductions, so when they increase the resistance, unless you can set it to 0 like Osin, which we're gonna get to next, you will always do way less damage when you're against a resistance to your build type. So when you combine fizz resistance plus crit resistance on one build, you do, let's just say, 20 times to 30 times less damage. And you can also get this stacked with Soul Eater, with extra life, with life at ES, you know. It makes some of the mobs in the maps go to infinity. And that's why I make this build specifically to counter that. Now let's go lastly to Chaos Resistant, because there are some builds that do use OSIN, okay? They do use OSIN, however, there is a self with a duration of -80. This means that your with the duration went from 2 seconds to quick maths. I'm brain dead. You get the point. -80, right? So only 20%. So 0.4 seconds on a wither stack. So you can't really maintain 15 stacks of wither. When the wither duration's 0.4 seconds, right? That means that you basically lose almost all your additional, so you lose half damage, almost, right? We're rounding here. We're rounding in favor of the monster here. So you're doing half damage no matter what, even if you have OSIN to make this 0. So these are the if you do Meatsacks, you will notice it immediately when you find a resistance plus critical resistance. I can't speak, and yeah, that's crazy. So how do we get overwhelmed? Well, we get overwhelmed by anointing on swords, Razor's Edge. That's 20% overwhelm, and I also take here 20% overwhelm. So that's 40 overwhelm already. And excuse me. We can additionally use the Adorned. Of course, it's past week 1. I'm using Adorned for my builds because it's so powerful. Okay, we're using Adorned, right? 150 times a 2% jewel here gives me 5% overwhelm. So that's 20, 40, right? 45, 50, 55. And I think I have one more somewhere. I'm not really sure. I think there should be one more. Yeah, so 60 overwhelm. I have 60 overwhelm. Now, so why do you have 60 and not 50? Well, honestly, because it really depends. Okay, it just depends. That's also because some of the maps that we get is, I think, endurance charge. You know, they get endurance charges. Yeah, they get endurance charges. And monster endurance charges also give them extra fizz reduction. So because we have 60, we can really closely become true damage. Now, most of the time, it's not the case. And you don't need 60 reduction. So you can, I just unspec these 4, which I should, and I normally do. I'll spec into here. Because the best part about this part here is that I can actually go into anti-block. Because 40 overwhelm is already kind of enough. So 40 overwhelm is enough. And I would usually unspec this. And I'll take these 4 nodes here. And take this node here. Monsters cannot be blocked by attacks. This node here is incredibly strong. Because on some monsters, you get this modifier here. Blocks attacks. 50% chance to block attack damage, and this is brutal. It hurts. It's so bad. It's so bad. You can notice you do like no damage. You don't do any damage, when they get enough block modifiers. The maps have block modifiers on them as well, so you know, those are things to consider about. And moving back to strength. So because we are second strength on a Juggernaut, I have 1.5k strength. Now this strength is obviously boosted by Adorned. Adorned make these jewels here. They give strength from 16 to 40. So every single of these jewels, besides some random ones, you know, has a 40 strength plus the implicit. Okay, so I kind of went all out because this build was awesome. It was a really good build, and I did go all out and I started making my own jewels to corrupt. Okay, so as you can see, these are some really nice jewels. And speaking about strength, we can further use the Iron Fortress, and the Iron Fortress here is the next crazy synergy that we have. So the Iron Fortress gives us the line at the bottom. Strength damage bonus gives us 3% instead. Okay, so it goes from 2 to 3%, aka 50% increase. Now to show you the power of this, we'll do it in PvP. Okay, so I've just imported my PvP, and as we can see here, let's have a look at something called Iron Grip and Iron Will. Now, firstly, let's take it off. Right, our damage went down a lot. Now, what does Iron Will do? It gives us strength damage bonus. Also applies to spell as well, meaning that's the 50% increase from Iron Fortress actually also applies to spell damage as well. Okay, so I take Iron Will, I get a huge damage bonus. Why? It's because we are using Wrathpith Glow. So Wrathpith Glow then converts this massive increased damage of spell damage into even more. Sorry. Oh no, it's Battle Mage Cry. Sorry. So I have Battle Mage Cry in Wrathpith, and Battle Mage Cry converts this spell damage into attack damage times 1.5 again. So go from strength bonus times 1.5 into spell damage times 1.5 into attack damage. And then we look at our skills, Spitting Steel, Calc Spitting Steel, and we look at our increased, right? We have 3000%. That's because we're getting 1600 from Wrathpith, because we're life stacking, and 1090 from strength. 1090% damage from strength. 1090 from strength, okay? So that's Iron Will. But we are using Splitting Steel. Splitting Steel is a projectile attack, okay? Projectile attack. What helps projectiles? It's Iron Grip. Iron Grip now triple dipped into strength, and we get the bonus damage as well. So now our strength is applying to spell damage, to attack damage, and also projectile attack damage as well. Go to calcs, have a look. We're now getting increased damage somewhere. It doesn't show here, but because PvP doesn't really calculate it well, but it does actually increase it. So we can take a look. It does increase it, but it's hard to calculate. Because they don't miss it here. I don't know where to put it. It's projectile attack damage. I don't know, somewhere. Because a projectile portion doesn't get included in the all portion because it's AoE damage, etc, etc, etc. And so these two do work, and they stack together, and they give you a massive improvement on Splitting Steel damage. Now, that's strength, but I said we are precise technique. So, well, precise technique is a jewel over here that says more attack damage, more 1.4 times damage if accuracy is more than life. Now we have 14,900 accuracy and 14,200 life, meaning that we do activate precise technique. So, okay, there's a lot of synergies here. Now we are also using strength to gain accuracy. If we have a look on PvP, go to accuracy, we should be right about here. We have 3,000 accuracy base from Undeniable. We have 1,500 from the helmet mod, which I showed you earlier, which you can hopefully see right now. Yeah, accuracy is based on strength, equal to strength. Yep. And then the other modifier we get is 500 from undeniable, 700 precision, etc. We're just bumping it up. Okay, we're bumping up the base strength. Now, the synergy here is that we can also use, well, we can use War Banner. So, War Banner gives us increased accuracy and makes enemies nearby take increased physical. So, it's absolutely perfect. Like, you know, everything's coming together one by one perfectly, you know. So this War Banner gives us accuracy and they take more physical. Okay, that's great for pure physical builds. Now, we use tattoos on the tree to bump it up. Honestly, you don't need that much. You don't even need that much, just some, right? Because we have so much accuracy. And what is the benefit of this is that by having this much accuracy, it doesn't matter if the enemy says evasive, right? If we go onto Arch Nemesis, we go to evasive. They have a lot more evasion rating, 100% increased evasion, right? So they have way more evasion. But we go back to PB and we can manually config, right? Base evasion is 10k. Let's just say they have ×2 and ×2 again. They have 40,000 evasion. Okay, with 40,000 evasion, it's still a 100 hit chance. So it, you know, if there's no evading, there's monsters do not evade. Let's go to 60,000 evasion, 95 hit chance. Okay, so they have 60,000 evasion, then we have 95 hit chance. If we were to go to like something like 80,000, right, to really feel the difference at 89%. Let's go to 100,000. Okay, you get the point. With 14,000 accuracy, everything is going to get hits no matter what. Now, here comes the next synergy based on strength. So what does strength give you besides melee damage? Well, if we look in game, it also says +1 life per 2 strength. So by stacking strength, we get base life. Now, with base life, we can of course, again, abuse Adorned and scale it to affinity. So each of my Adorned jewels, every single one, they all have 7% life as a prefix, which is multiplied to 1.43, at 1.43% to 17%. Yep, so every single one is 70% life. And we stack life to 1, helps us with the defenses, and 2, it will, in the moment you see, it gives a lot of damage. So we stack up our life to just below accuracy so that we can enable precise technique while having a lot of accuracy and a lot of life. Now, when we look at life, right, we can see in my skill, for Splitting Steel, we have one skill here, Bloodthirst. Support attack steal added physical with weapons equal to 2% of maximum life while on low life. Okay? And whatever, that's the main part. Okay, while on low life. Well, we are always on low life with Petrified Blood. Okay, so we use Petrified Blood and we enable it and we just, you know, as you can see in the game, we are always low life. And it works very well with Defiance. So all those boss kills you saw earlier, I had Defiance on. So I could use a Great Wolf, but I was using Defiance in every single one. And yeah, that's the life, right? And so how much do we get? Well, we get a lot. Let's take a look at skills. Splitting Steel, if I disable, boom, damage goes away. Damage gets away, right? Damage just drops off. Okay. So Bloodthirst is a huge part of it as well. We can see in configs, how much is this? Nah, too cheap. Too cheap sale. We go to configs and look physical. We get Bloodthirst is 286. And Splitting Steel is 133, and some extra bonus fizz from the weapon. I should assume it's not here, but you know it counts, right? For my weapon and everything, it counts. And of course, speaking of a weapon, we are using Paradoxica because, well, we're stacking something, so you should use Paradoxica because it deals double damage. So you do double damage. We're looking for a attack speed impale Paradoxica, and I bought this for 45 div, so it is what it is. Just use a normal one. You don't have to use double corrupt. You know, you don't have to. And yeah, so I bought this for effective. It gives me attack speed and double damage is very good. It is actually better than a pure axe, right? I checked. A physical psychotic axe, like fully damaged out, is not even close to this weapon. It's minus 40%, so it's half damage, right? So Paradoxica is unbelievable. It's way too good for this build. Few things of note. We do need nemesis, okay? So nemesis, the way spinning still works is that we throw out our attacks and they return and they hit again nearby, right? They come back, return, and explode on you. And this is considered the primary reason to use spitting steel is because the returning projectiles explode on you and you can shotgun, kinda. You just go stand on the monster, on the enemy, on the shotgun. I have been considering to use a instead of cruelty support, working AoE. I think is worse on paper but better in practice. Is working AoE. Anything else? Yeah. So let's go through the items real quick. This is just a graveyard crafted. It's really easy to craft. Graveyard craft, and then I just use strength essences until accuracy, and that's it. This one is graveyard fracture, and I use into essences until life. That's it. This one is a little bit harder. I got lucky. I'm looking for strength suffix instead of attack speed, but because I was doing the chaos essence reforge, so chaos essences, I landed this three mod, and I was like, okay, fine. You know what? So be it. I'll take it as it is. And attack speed is technically more damage than strength, but strength gives me like life, right? Gives you life, everything else. So it's either or really. Now, speaking of this glove, the impulses are pretty important. You are looking to get at least 2 pierces, and 3 would help, but I don't know how much it would help in Meatsacks, but it would help. So when you use splitting steel, the steel has to go through an enemy and then return. If it doesn't, it will explode and won't return. So you do want to have some pierce. So 2 pierces on an exquisite Ada, and my source of intimidate here is the Grand Exile. We have Frenzy Charge, Fracture, here's my nemesis, here's my ring. Bought the ring for 80 div, crafted myself, got lucky. I got lucky. Yep, and that's basically all the gear. Now, one more thing I should cover is the cluster jewels. Now, I do have a 1 passive voice here, but I truly think that it's not optimal because these clusters are so strong. So Run Through and Feed the Fury are very, very strong. These 3 points, okay, they compare in power to more than the jewel socket. So we got a POV, okay. This point here is 4.6%. This one here is, well, it says 7%. That's because we're losing impale chance. So yeah, these 2 jewels is like, it's like 12%, 11% plus this 11%, right? And this jewel here does not compare. This jewel here is already really strong. We'll see this one here, 7%, right? They're very, very close in power. And I would use a 3 socket most of the time, and the 3 passive voices doesn't compare to a this cluster right here. These clusters are so strong. The attack speed's really strong, the leech is good, and then impale effect, the impale chance here is also really good. And the reason why I say that is because I'm actually forced to use an impale chance jewel, because without this jewel, my impale chance is actually only at 84, 85. Calc, spitting steel, 84 impale, right? So I need impale chance, and having it here is the best source I could think of. So I'll lose strength, but it's still, you know, it is what it is. There are ways to get more impale chance, but I'm working on it, on like thinking about how I'm going to do it. I could use attack mastery, take intimidate, and I think it move things around, etc. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how it is right now. And that is the clusters. So once again, you don't really want voices or even need voices. I just happen to have this one right now. Yeah, honestly, these clusters are really, really, really strong. Like, I'm not even using 3 passive voices. I have 3 passive voices, and I'm not using them because I think these are better. Yeah, I literally have a 3 passive voice ready to go. Right here, right here. Yeah, I have 3 passive here ready to go, but I'm not using it because it's not as good. The cost is better. Anything more to talk about? How much mirrors? I think I'm excluding the voices. Okay, I think about 2 mirrors in, 2.5 mirrors in. So let's just go to it piece by piece. Okay, piece by piece, piece by piece. Items, top to bottom. Paradox skill 40 div. Calculator 40. This shield I bought for 100. You don't even need to, right? You just use a shit one. Okay, you don't need to. This is self-crafted helmet, and I use essences. I would say, let's say you use 1 graveyard, 30 div for 1 graveyard craft. For additional fracture craft graveyard is around 30 div. This one I paid 120. Okay, you don't have to have AoE. Okay, just get crit multi, so reduce crit chance or whatever. Just, you know, these are luxuries that I'm putting on top of the build. You don't have to, but I paid 140. Okay, we'll put in 140 because I paid it. These gloves is a graveyard craft, so that's 30. Oh, actually plus the implicits, right? So plus another 20 for implicits. Boots is a graveyard craft plus 30. Implicits plus another 20. Okay. Defiance, you don't need max res or any of that stuff. This is my same Defiance from last video that I crafted myself. I crafted it myself. So Defiance, let's say 20 div for 42. Nemesis is currently 90 div. This ring I paid 90 and I crafted myself in like 30 div. Honestly, yeah, around 30 div, yeah. So that's 120 on being generous. Mage Blood is one. Wait, how much Mage Blood? It's like 85 div now. Fuck. 85? Flask Wound, all that. I self-crafted each of these. Let's just say I spent 30 div on average per jewel. Because I feel like that's pretty fair. Now, I bought the basis of these strength jewels. I bought them for like... Okay, you know what? You don't have to use implicits. Just use normal jewels, okay? Normal jewels corrupted with whatever. And you fit things around, piece it together, so be it, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 jewels times, what did I say, 30? But you shouldn't pay that much, okay? 13 times 30. And then Adorned is 0.8 mirrors, which is right now 0.8 times 7, 560 div-ish. And that's it. These clusters, let's say miscellaneous gems, everything, plus another 100, right, miscellaneous. I'm at 1,700 divines. And mirrors are right now 700 divines, so I'm just over 2 mirrors. I'm at, divided by 700, I'm at 2.5 mirrors, okay? I think for 2.5 mirrors, including massive luxuries, that's, this build power is up there. It is up there in terms of build power. Imagine putting 2.5 mirrors into an armor sacker and comparing that to this. Hey. I'm doing true damage. I don't give a fuck about no recovery. Actually, I do, but nowhere to the extent of armor stackers, right? And I can run around, dragging the entire map into one spot and booming it all together, right? For 2.5 mirrors, including luxuries, I think this is pretty fucking good. Like, it's pretty fucking good. On that note, I realized that I did not include Watcher's Eye. Okay, Watcher's Eye is better, but I'm not willing to pay a mirror for a double or even a triple Watcher's Pride because, well, it's not even that bad. Like, it's not even that good. It's barely better, and it costs way too much. And I'm more about efficiency here, so I don't want to spend a mirror for 5% damage. It's a bit fucking retarded, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh, Sniper's Mark. Okay, so Sniper's Mark allows you to increase damage taken from the enemy by 40%, and it's very, 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 very good. Now, it says it splits towards 2 additional targets, meaning when splitting still splits per the name, you get 7 additional splits, and when it returns, 8 times damage, right? Plus initial damage 9 times, so it's around 9 to 10 times total. I think I don't really know how to calculate this. Let's just say it's 10 times damage, okay? 10 times damage when you do shotgun. Anything else? I don't think I missed anything else, did I? Yeah, or budget. Let's say you did do it on a budget. Okay, you did it on a budget. You don't go fucking retarded on these jewels. You get jewels, okay? You roll them yourself. Go to temple. That's what I do here, right? These are jewels that I've been saving. That I taken. Go to the temple and crop them. And see some of the leftovers that I have, right? I just kept sending them to the temple, sending, and non-stop, right? Now I have more. I have more somewhere else. You know. Just keep going with that. And just for budget version, it's much cheaper to not go crazy on synth jewels. Okay, I don't need synth jewels. Let's make it clear. If I do configs minus 300 strength, minus 300 to strength. Yeah. I lose accuracy. Fine. We just adjust a little bit. You know, get some more life. Change things a little bit. We'll do plus 200 to accuracy. You know, you can anoint a few more nodes, get some dex somewhere, etc. I don't even think I have 200 dex in terms of strength on impetus anyway, right? Let's say every single one is 12 times 12. Okay, at most it's 144 strength. At most. So actually it's at most it's 144. 144 at most, right? Yeah. Something like this, you know, you get the point. You don't have to go all out on the implicits there. Anything else to talk about? That should be it. Yeah, that should be it. Would I recommend this build? Yes, I would recommend this build. It's very powerful. For honestly, 2.5 mirrors is not that much in this timed league. You know, this point in the league, 2.5 mirrors, not too much. Everything's automated. Okay, everything's very automated. It's very strong, very safe. Can do meatsacks, back-to-basics and meatsacks at a really high efficiency. Because we are gathering the whole map together and we're blowing them up with glittering. So everything gets 100 quantity, 200 rarity on every meatsack. So you don't even need magic find. You don't need magic find. And yeah, that should be it. Hope you liked the video. Yeah, see you next time.